departure. Put us out of our misery. Who is your famous mother? You must think, you know, everybody only wants to talk about your mother. It's not going to be like that tonight, Carol. What's your father like?
Are you going to come on to Mark as well?
No, I'll give him a miss. Well, Carol, we could talk to you for another minute at least. Amanda de Cadenet, what's she all about? So you give very, very flowery descriptions about all these various drinks. Do you make them up? But, you know, I do take an avid interest in sport, obviously. So, Chris Akabusi, what do you do sports-wise? But tell us, when did you realise first that you could run? But what first, Debbie, attracted you to the millionaire Paul Daniels?
By the way, are you Paul Merton's mother? Someone told me.
No, not you. No, I've seen Paul make you disappear on the telly. Are you going to make Paul disappear? Because that would guarantee a lot of viewers. But does your wife watch Supermarket Sweep?
Basically, I mean, I'm anybody's friend, Mrs. Merton, which is why I'm probably here tonight.
I think it is, and you were cheap. But you've worked on the Express, the Mirror, the Star, BBC Radio, BBC TV. Can I ask you something, Derek? Can't you hold a steady job down? Politics. Is it all a load of rubbish? When did you realise first that you were a politician?
I'm going to find out about Tony when something goes terribly wrong. Because he's had this...
Are you talking about Tony Blair?
Tony Blair?
I meant Lionel Blair.
When I was running the Greater London Council, we had £1 billion a year to spend. And you could change
You didn't
things.
spend it on clothes. What would you be if you weren't a... If you were... What do you do, Mandy? You know, I nearly didn't recognise you. Look so different in real life. When you were, you know, a young boy at school, did you ever think that, you know, when you grew up, you'd be in people's homes 3 times a week, you know, playing a gormless fool? Well, I think your horoscopes are very, very accurate. How long does it take you to make them up of an evening? What are you, an Aquarius?
That's right.
That meant you're ruled by Uranus. Do you think they'll ever find a little man on Uranus? You know, Mystic Meg, she's a barn pat, isn't she? You're married to Lenny Henry, aren't you? Do you know who's grown up now, Joe? The Walton sex triplets. Any thoughts, comedic or otherwise, on the subject?
I look at my television and I said, I feel like crawling into my television and getting hold of her and giving her one. When I crawl in between you, I know I'm in the promised land.
Very me.
Did your figure come back naturally, or have you been working out?
Is this to Lorraine or Joe? What do you like on TV?
Jukebox Jury.
Let's have something that's in the present day. What do you like now on TV?
Anne and Nick.
Anne and Nick, they're great,
Yeah, well,
aren't
you've got a variety of everything.
You have, haven't you? Someone who's not so puddled. We have with us somebody who hasn't got a TV at all. Where is that freak? Were you as surprised as we all were when he came from behind and he licked you in the ring? Were you surprised? Chris Eubank, come on. It's a chat show. You're going to punch me.
With Steve Collins, I don't care for the man. He said things which were unreasonable.
Did he say, come on over here if you think you're hard enough? No, he didn't say that. We've had a great time tonight, haven't we, Chris? Lovely. Cindy here's had cosmetic surgery and Enid hasn't. Have I got that the right way around? If you hadn't done all that running around playing football, would you have been as thirsty? Did you ever think one day you'd be famous in every pub in Britain? You're married now, aren't you?
8 weeks.
And she, of course, is an air hostess, isn't she? What attracted you to her first, apart from, of course, the duty-free? Is it lovely being up this late?
It is.
Have you ever ever thought of going on a double date, say, for example, with those two girls out of Birds of a Feather? The National Lottery, has it taken over our lives? Let's have a heated debate.
Oh, I won a couple of £10.
Oh, lovely. That's what you got your jacket with.
You know, you want to do Clint Eastwood, and
Sorry, Pat.
You're
Very
falling asleep now.
unprofessional, wasn't it? You'd have never done that, would you?
quick hands.
Have you?
No.
You weren't, if you don't mind me saying, the greatest player in the world, but you're not bothered about slagging everyone else off, are you? It's lovely to have an intellectual like you, and especially after Jimmy. The papers, it's all sex, isn't it? Is that what you're paying for, Andrew Neil?
I've never been.
But you know who'd be nice for you? Carol Vorderman. But
Didn't she do Tomorrow's World for a while?
Yes, she did.
I used to do Tomorrow's World.
Did you?
I did.
Oh, we don't remember that. Anyway. Lovely. Sit down before I'm sick. But Debbie, I mean, she was a great hit with all the pensioners. Well, you're proof of that yourself.
I'm proof of that, yes. The living proof. I married her for her money, you know.
No, you didn't. Anyway, it's a fairy tale. It's like The Princess and the Frog.
That was,
How are you, Bow-wise?
Well, I'm...
You've made Australia popular. You and Cell Block H. Tell us about Countdown. You do Countdown, don't you?
Done Countdown for 13 years.
13
with
years.
Richard Whiteley.
He's always so pleased when you get a very long word or something. Is he a bit simple? Do you like Paddy, Patrick?
Well, my husband's called Paddy. Because my husband's got a big nose and a bald head. But he's not royal. Although it's Patrick King, my husband's name, so that's...
Are you on drugs, Carol? We see you on Countdown. All you're doing is adding up.
I'm not allowed to talk on Countdown.
No, well, just as well, eh? It's not that Richard Whiteley, is it? You know where they could do with you? On the tills at Quicksave. What's a typical royal buffet?
Well, I have 2 breakfasts most mornings, often 2 lunches.
I hate to say this, but you sound a bit of a greedy beggar.
Richard Whiteley, you know, he's got a degree from Cambridge.
So?
In English.
Oh, he's still simple, I don't care. Who gets that excited like he does on a conundrum?
If you could choose any other game show or show that's on TV, which one would you choose to have a go at hosting?
What would I like to do?
Say catchphrase and be done with it.
Catchphrase.
The environment, are you for or against it?
What does it mean?
Do you do recycling, Liz?
Oh, yes. Takes me bottles and papers, puts me in the bottle bank, paper bank.
Everything goes in that bottle bank. But you do recycling, because you've recycled that outfit for 3 shows, haven't you? You know, you're like a big film star, but you're still common as muck. Can we talk about Ronnie Knight? Where did he hide the money? Once she get it, Carol Vorderman.
Can't believe it.
Oh, you see her on Countdown, she says nothing, just does the adding up, and who couldn't shut her up? Sherry Blair. She sounds like a dessert, doesn't she? Is she a pudding? My favourite cook was always Fanny Craddock. How often do you think of Fanny? Do you know whose bowels are made of steel? Judith Chalmers. Yeah. But my husband, he's a big fan of Tribe, you know, and he loves your programme.
Yeah.
But as a fellow Australian, how do you explain Rolf Harris?
What celebrity would you like at our dinner party? Who would you have at your dinner table?
I was going to sort of say Cleopatra, you know, but...
No.
You don't think so? You think it's a good idea?
No.
'Cause
Not Cleopatra. What's she got to talk about?
Well-
She hasn't even seen the bill. She won't even know what heartbeat is. Of course, you've just done This Is Your Life, haven't you?
I have, yes.
I thought that night it was lovely how they managed to drag your achievements out to a full half hour. You actually invite people into your house to have a cup of tea?
Dear, they
And
don't
how
dirty
many
the
people would
carpets then.
come?
3,000 sometimes.
How big's your kettle? Say, for example, you get home, you've done a concert, and you're relaxing. Do you sit there in your undies scratching and trumping? But do you trump? We all love the clothes show. I never
really
miss
nice
it.
of you to say that.
Never
That's
miss
brilliant.
it. When's it on again? Vivienne Westwood. She's bonkers, isn't she? Don't be shy.
Hello, Liz.
What
Hi.
would you do with Liz's outfit? Bearing in mind you can't just bin it.
The only thing I possibly wouldn't have done was the choker.
Liz,
Very
take the
attractive,
choker
isn't
off.
she?
It's not working. Take the choker off.
I'll sort the choker.
Oh, and it's terrible when these things happen on live
That's
TV.
right.
Do you ever watch TV and think, isn't, you know, that person very badly dressed? And is it always Scylla?
And one became partisan, so I sort of...
What did you become, love?
Partisan.
Can you tell us all what's going to be the colour for this Christmas?
Anne wants to know when that's going to come back in. Do you know something? You'll wear anything for a laugh, won't you?
I stumbled and fell into the arms of a man who was standing there.
Like you do.
Yeah, so it looked like I was drunk, wearing women's clothing and lurching at strange men.
That's a great excuse. Yeah. But Michael Winger, you're famous, of course, for making Death Wish. Death Wish 2, Death Wish 3. Have you ever heard the expression flogging a dead horse? I'm in a video club. It's Blockbusters. And the films, they're £3 a night. But you'll love this. This is the lovely thing. Your films are only £1 a night. And you have to sort through the basket amongst everything else. The lovely thing about you, you seem to have no fear of failure, do you? Sharon Stone, what's she like? Is she an old slapper? What makes you happy, Tony?
Oh, I think knowing that there are still fairies at the bottom of the garden.
I wonder where you get your dresses from.
The same shop as you, Teresa. Have you ever thought of joining the Monster Ravy Loony Party? Do you think Teresa loves the sound of her own gums flapping? What are you like between the sheets, Sasha?
Free Benter's pie. Free Benter's.
You're gay, aren't you? What do you gays get up to? When did you first realise you were licking the other side of the stamp? Liberace. Do you share his love of rings? Karma Chameleon. What was that all about? Have you ever entered anything you wished you hadn't?
Quite a few times.
Penis.
My first manager of football was Dave Bassett.
Bertie Bassett. Is your ambition to be sent off in a World Cup final? You're such a scruffy beggar, aren't you?
I'm a wow at dinner parties.
You are.
I'll pull the pants off them.
Yes. You are a walking, talking nutcase, aren't you? But then, I don't want to, you know, bring up unhappy memories or anything like that, but you went through a very sad time in your life, and of course, you presented the big breakfast. What was your lowest point?
I was, lying in a bed covered in vomits and... Yeah, I know.
That's a Friday Night Alpha list there. The lovely thing about you, you'll do anything on that telly.
No, I don't. No, I don't.
I think you do. Brenda, have you got a pet?
No.
Right. Have you got a pet, Margaret?
Not now. She died last February.
When I say have you got a pet, not one that's died, please. A question of sport.
Mm-hmm.
Did you love doing that?
8 years we did together.
Did you? I wish I'd watched it now. You know what you two are reminding me of, sat there? A ventriloquist act. Hey, you could have a bottle of gear. Do you know what he'll be doing now backstage? He'll be blushing. I can guarantee he'll be sat there with his big purple head in his hands. Because she's 76, ladies and gentlemen. You are a marvellous comic actress. God, we laughed and laughed and laughed when you did Purdy. Joanne, have you trumped? Are you looking, love? Yeah. In what way? Are you two lesbians? It's fine with us.
And,
Lovely thing about you is that you've got that lovely gormless face. From Take me back from Coronation Street. Do you remember when there was all that to do about Ivy's will? He stole them scenes. Didn't he? Stole them. Who's got a question for old Bobby Bollocks? You are a Hollywood legend.
I am.
And you've done, you know, all those films. What we all want to know. What was Richard and Judy like? We all say in England, the 3 best American actors are, we say, you, Cagney, and Lacey.
And who?
Lacey. We've not seen you for years. We thought you were dead as a dodo. I've got all your records. I have. Every Sunday on the car boot, and they can't flog them for loving the money. You are the female Margaret Thatcher, aren't you? Is it true you both have 666 on the back of your head?
Now, they should have come and asked your advice, Dorothy. Or may I call you Dotty? Is that all right?
I think you're the dotty one round here. Do you know who finds you absolutely fascinating?
Go on.
You. But when, you know, when you were singing You're a Pink Toothbrush, I'm a Blue Toothbrush back in the 60s, were you on drugs? You know what I like about fame? I can go in the post office, I can push in right to the front of the queue for my pension, and that's what I like. And do you know who I got that tip off? Judy Finnegan. You've been on Richard and Judy, haven't you?
Yes.
They're married, you know, they're not mother and son. Have you ever had a bout of flatulence during a Max medley? It's lovely to see somebody so happy in their work, you know, happy stroke legless. Do you think you could ever cook sober? The subject of mad cow disease. When did you first know you had it? Take your shoes off, Melinda.
Oh,
Melinda, take your top off. Parky has nabbed all the best guests now.
Yeah, I know.
I'm not saying you two aren't great. I mean, we'll stretch this out to half an hour if it kills us. Yeah. Let's talk about the Shane Ritchie experience. Let's be honest now, that was a big fat flop. I don't want to concentrate on your flops tonight.
No.
I don't, because it's not fair.
No, you're
Let's
right.
talk about your successes.
Okay.
You were a blue coat at Pontins, weren't you?
I've gone back and done shows from, and
I'm sure you'll be back there again. I mean, you are one of the greatest dancers in the world. You're up there, well, you're almost up there with Lionel Blair.
Oh, yeah.
You've got lovely eyes, you have,
Have I?
Wayne. Come to bed eyes, you have.
Have I?
Yeah. You've got come to Pontins eyes. I can't look at your face without thinking of a baboon's bottom. Do you like my audience?
I love your audience.
Do you?
Yes.
Then why did you slag us when we went to Vegas? You're very mean to Jo Brand, aren't you?
Jo Brand. She's not very funny, though, is she? She got 3 jokes, Jo Brand. She goes, I'm fat, I hate men, and I like cakes. And she does them endlessly.
Gary, 3 more jokes than you.
Yeah.
Now, were you an extra in Emmerdale, or was it... No, was it a real cow patch? You have done so well. You and little Mick Hucknall. You know, 2 scrag ends make good, aren't you?
2 scrag ends make a joint.
How much money have you got now, Lisa? Roughly speaking.
A lot.
Isn't it lovely?
It makes
And
life a
you've
lot
not
easier.
shown it off tonight in that fur dressing gown. Would you love to be her, Gary? People liking you. I came to your club once, the Embassy.
Did
And
you?
you know, I laughed and laughed.
Yes.
It was the night it burnt down, you know, the fire.
Only live up the road, me. It's dead easy for me.
Isn't it? Why do you think we asked you?
Hello,
Come down
excuse my back, darling.
It's better than his front.
Got the house full of drink, but I don't drink.
Really?
Yeah.
Is your wife an alky? You look like you've just been busking. It's Vanessa May. Do you like Vanessa May? Would you like to fiddle with her?
I've got a phobia of water.
I know.
Do us a bit of Hendrix. Do us a bit.
I would, but I can't do that on my own.
Hendrix? We'd rather have Horlicks. I'm going to have to speak up tonight to be heard over that tie.
Can't think why you've asked me at all, I really can't.
Well, it's the last show we were stuck. We've asked everyone. And the funny thing is, with you being on, even if it wasn't the last show, it would be now. Is it true that you present Countdown absolutely naked from the waist down? but with your sweetbreads immersed in icy water?
There's a fly in the gypsy creamers.
Oh, that's... Hey, it's like watching Countdown. Do you know, you come on and you're so lovely and humble. Changed all my opinions about you. You're not a knob head at all.